You can trust your car to the man who wears the star, the big, bright Texaco star.
Hi everyone, welcome back to Grandpa Mark's Hobbies and a build update for our Texaco Station. I haven't done a whole lot with the station lately because I wanted to get all this done so I know where I'm going when I go put it into the station. So let's break this down and I'm going to show you some of the cool things that we have going on here. Let me move the guys out the way and we'll go. Everybody was in the shop today. We were busy. So not all of these came from the, well, definitely not from the Texaco kit. And whoops, and definitely not from the Fujimi kits. I have two of the Fujimi kits. I have the Garage and Tools, and I have the Garage and Tools Remix, which is the updated Garage and Tools. So I'm using a lot of both of them just because I want to have a spread. And there's just so much to offer with the two of them. I can swap things in and out to make the pictures look cool. You know what I mean? The Texaco Station is basically going to be for like Friday Night Live videos and for, yeah, I said Friday Night Live videos. That's going to come this winter. And also for my photo shoots for the cars when I'm finished with them. But let's dig into this right now because I'm really excited and I got a bunch to cover. So we'll start, let me move, I just put these back and I'm gonna move them out of the way for a second. Some of these parts are so dang delicate and small that Snicker bar hands, it's better for me to use the tweezers. And I wanna make sure that I show you all of these because there's some cool stuff in here. Whoops, already knocking things over. But let's start with the biggest part right here. This is from the toolkit, the Garage and Tools toolkit, not the Remix. And this is a nice 2-post lift. I'm gonna drill a hole here and run a wire from here into the box. But I haven't done that yet. Just because I just literally just finished weathering all this. But this kit is really simple to put together. I sprayed it with my Gallery's Mobius 0.2 millimeter airbrush. I'm liking that airbrush a lot for small parts like these. I got a lot more control and I can, as you can see here on the edges, where I actually feathered the paint out, so I'm not, I didn't want a solid coat because I wanted this to be weathered. And I used that so I could pull back and forth and lighten up and darken where I wanted to. And I think it worked out really good. But this kit is neat, or this lift is really neat. The arms on it are articulating. The back arms are solid stiff. They don't pull out or anything, but they do articulate out so that you can get it underneath. The front ones swing this way and the other piece swings too, so that you can get a car on there. You know what? I'll bring you one. Hold on a second. Let's see how this works. I brought my favorite car over and look at that. It doesn't fit. The little narrow body does not fit. So we're gonna have to see here if I can draw this out. No, it's not gonna fit on there. Let me grab another one. All right, let's try the Mustang. We just built this. And yeah, see, that'll fit on there, no problem. But the Roadsters, I'll have to use the single post in the thing. And that's one of the things that I wanted to do is I wanted to be able to switch between the new and the old lift. So now I have to, because I plan on doing a few more Roadsters down the road. And I sure want to be able to take some pictures of them on the lift. You know, have Angry Spock underneath working, or the guys up here welding. You know, all kinds of things. But I don't want to be limited to where I can't put the Roadster on the lift and get some cool pictures. So now I know I have to, when I do that, I have to use that one. But it does work. It sits on there. It's not going to go anywhere. So we're good with that. I'll keep this car over here so we can check out the jack stands. But I did some good weathering on this. Let me turn this light off. I found that these fluorescent lights really don't show off the weathering. I used Tamiya's Weathermaster C and D that I always use. I use the rust. I use the gunmetal. The burnt red. I even used the blue on one of these. But I think the weathering came out pretty darn good. The decals are awful thin. Be careful with the decals. But the kit, this is, like I said, the Fujimi tools, and I'll show you a picture of the box right here. It doesn't show this lift in the kit, and I really wanted to make sure that was in here. This was one of the kits that was given to me with the Texaco Station, and man, I was happy to see that the lift was in there with it. But there's our lift. I'm gonna move it out of the way. I'm gonna bring in, this is supposed to be a snap-on. I didn't want to put a snap-on. I'm not gonna say, hey, snap-on, and you know, and show them off. But I did want to show, this is a really nice toolbox. The only thing is none of the drawers open. So it's just gonna be back in the corner somewhere sitting. But the wheels turn. They made the wheels turn, but nothing opening up, which is kind of a bummer. This is on the new kit, the remaster, I believe. Yeah, the one thing you can do is put this lid up, and I probably should have. I glued it down because I could have lifted it up and put shop manuals in there, because that high on a toolbox, that's all you have in there usually is the shop manuals anyhow. But that's the snap-on on the new kit, or the remaster. And this is from the old kit, or the shop tools. And I did glue this drawer in place just because I took a bunch of tools and put them in there, and I didn't want the tools flipping out. I glued the tools in place. I am impressed with the tools. It has the snips and a bunch of wrenches and adjustable wrenches, hammers and things like that. A socket set, even has the 10 millimeter. They didn't lose it yet. So that's pretty funny. This is from the modern, or the remix. It's a battery operated impact. I painted this one the yellow and black like it's a DeWalt. It comes with two, and I painted the other one just a quick red, like a Milwaukee. So, and again, I'm not favoring any brands. I wanted to show both of them off. But the tools, like I said, the tools look really good. And I weathered this the same way I weathered the lift. And there's also a lower drawer that I can pull out too, if I can get a hold of it. So you can have two drawers open and have it flip over on you. Like if you open too many drawers. I'm sure you've seen pictures of that. I watched that happen when a buddy of mine, he opened a couple of drawers up, and I forget why, but all of a sudden it's just all the drawers started rolling open, and that thing just went, and sockets and wrenches and everything all over the shop floor. And all I could do was laugh. So there's that. Our engine lift, I think I showed you this before. I weathered it up. I added a chain to it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this chain and I'm going to shorten it big time and put a balancing rod in there, and then the chain's coming off of that. I just haven't gotten that far yet. But this moves up and down. It's awful dang loose, so if you want to have the engine up, you may have to put a little piece of this tack, that putty tack. I get this from the dollar store, and this stuff works really good. You work it in your fingers a little bit, and you can have things stick to it. Here, I'll put this on here like I was talking about. What you might have to do is just put a little piece on there like that, and nobody's going to notice that, but that'll hold that up. You know, you put it on, you squeeze it in place, and then your engine's not going to go anywhere, and then it will peel right back off. Stick it back on there and use it another day. I've also used that for masking when I did a camouflage tank one time. So that works real good. It's from the dollar store. They're cheap as snot. Moving down, I did show you this. I said I was going to make it to where it'll go up and down. When I was taking pictures of the Mustang, I had the Mustang lifted up with this thing, and I ended up gluing that in place so that it'll hold underneath the car. I think that looks pretty cool. It made a couple of really neat shots. A lot of fun. And that's what it's all about, is how much fun can you have with your kits and not act like a geek. So here's another. These are the big jack stands like we made in high school. Everybody that took weld shop welded up a pair of jack stands like that, and then in machine shop you did this piece out of solid, and then you learned how to bend the rod. I think it was our freshman year, maybe our second year into it. But these are nice little jack stands. They look great. They are actually adjustable. You can pull the little rod out and this thing will go up and down. But see if I can catch it under there. Never glued my hood in. Let's see here. Yeah, you can set it up that way. Put the hood back in there. Set them up on the jack stands. Shove Angry Spock underneath there doing some work or whatever, you know, and take a couple of shots that way. So that looks pretty cool. Or you could set up a diorama that way where you're working on stuff. But those are nice jack stands. They look great. Detail amazing in this kit. It really is. I didn't glue these in either. That's just all pressed in, and they're not going to fall apart. So there's those, and now the finickiest jack stands I've ever seen. Look at how small these are. And what I'm going to do with these is I'll set these up when I'm doing a picture like this. I'll set them up in the shop, and then, well, see how small these are? I literally got to use tweezers on them. But I'll set them up like this, and then I'll put the frame on there and take a picture of it. You can actually jack the whole car up, and they do stay. But I'll set the frame on there and get a couple of pictures like that, like they're working on the frame. And that'll be pretty cool. So these, and they took a little time. They're 2 pieces, and they are tiny. I'm telling you, they are really, they're too tiny for me to be able to pick up in my hand and set down and have stand up where I want them. I got to use the tweezers. And now, I showed this on my Facebook page, on the group page, but I never showed it in a video. I got one of each here. An engine stand with the wheels and everything. Nothing is glued down on this. Once I start my Pontiac, which will be tomorrow, letting everybody know the Pontiac's getting built tomorrow, I will glue this in place to where it holds that engine, and then all the other ones will pretty much fit in there to where I can set it on there and work on it. And again, good picture opportunity. But then there's this, and this was sent to me by a really good friend. He sent me this, a whole bunch of distributors with the holes already put in them. They're 3D printed, really cool. Carburetors, a whole bunch of stuff. But these things are so cool. And you can get the file. He 3D prints. And he 3D printed out this frame. I had the Hemi from my Charger kit, or my I'm not sure which kit now. It came with both engines. But I kept the Hemi out because it looked so good by itself. And then he sent me this, and I built that up and weathered it and put the Hemi on it because the Hemi looks so cool on there. But this thing is laid out. All these bars here are adjustable to where you can move them back and forth. This is loose, that's loose. Guys, it even comes with its own timing light. It is so cool. Now, the gauges I had from just old decals sitting around, but they were, if you wanted to paint them, you could, because they're already laid out, the switches. The only thing is I broke off the throttle, so I'm going to have to make a throttle piece, but I'll do that once I get this into the Texaco Station, and I'm going to wheel this around the back. But the battery was detailed out real nice. Everything. I mean, it's just a really cool kit. I'll talk to him and have him send me a link to the file for this. So if you do want to 3D print it, you can, because it's really cool. And then I just wired it up. You know, it's easy enough. You got your ignition, you got your battery, you got your fuel lines. The radiator hose I made just out of wire. The fuel line and all that was solder. The timing light was the 32 AWG wire. And that's it. I painted this with IGN green and semi-gloss black and red. That's all, and silver. That's all the paints I used, and then I weathered it with the C&D and a little bit of Tamiya's panel liner brown. Because, you know, face it, this thing, even though you got new engines on it, you're going to be greasy, grimy, trying to work on them, things leak and all that. But talk about just a cool, you throw a couple of people down with this thing and you got a diorama right here. And if I ever do get to a show, I'm going to take this thing, I'm going to set it up like a little garage, and I'm going to take this, you know, and put stuff around it, the toolbox and things like that. And I think that'll just be a cool thing for everybody to look at, because you just don't see it. So there is that. And I think that's just so cool. It gives you a place to highlight an engine. And if I had a 3D printer, trust me, I would print out maybe 5 or 6 of these and 5 or 6 of these, and just have them around for when I do get the extra engines and things like that. Because that's just such a cool setup, and it's not hard. It's not hard to build, and it's really not hard to wire up. You just, I mean, the wires are all out in the open. It's easier than doing it in an engine bay. So there is that. And that's all the stuff I have for the station. But I wanted to show you this too, because I keep forgetting to show you. This was sent to me kind of like a thank you for some bare metal foil work that I did. And I love this thing. I was thinking about, we've both even talked about lighting it, but I don't think I'm going to, just because I don't want to mess it up. It's a bank. You put your money in the top, and then you fill this up with change, and then when it's all the way full or whatever, you open this up, and this little flapper, geez, oh Pete, this little flapper opens up inside here and dumps all the change down inside. So how cool is that? The hose even comes off. So this will be neat to just put, like, I was thinking of putting this next to the, what do you call it? The billboard that my brother Mike made me. I was thinking about putting it next to that, kind of like a Route 66 interest piece that they used to put out, to where people would come and check things out. Because look at how big it is compared to the Mustang. It's huge, huge. That's the wife and I always say. But I think that'd be cool sitting next to the Texaco Station as like an interest piece. So there's that. And with that, I want to thank everybody for their subscriptions and comments. I look every day, and I wanted to say something about my comments. If you leave a comment and you notice that I haven't responded to it, let me know, because it seems like YouTube's making some comments just kind of disappear, where I have to go searching for them. Even when I click on the hold, they don't show up again. So let me know if I haven't responded to your comments, because I try to respond to every single one of them. And with that, I'll let you go. You all have a great day and a better tomorrow and a fantastic week. And I'll see you soon with the Pontiac build, because we're starting the Firebird tomorrow. Thanks again for watching.